Welcome everyone to Campaigns That Drive Action, Events and Online Registration, brought to you by SCORE in partnership with Constant Contact and BizzyWeb. I'm Dave Meyer of BizzyWeb. Would love to invite you to join us to ask questions and to integrate your online marketing with us. If you'd like to connect with us, you can reach me at dave@bizzyweb.com or dave.meyer@bizzyweb.com or facebook.com/bizzyweb or @bizzyweb. We are here all day to help you out and would love to help you if you need anything with online marketing or web design in particular. We are here to talk about social media and specifically events and registrations. So if you have more detail, what we'd love to, or if you have questions on any of those things, please do get a hold of us by sending us a note this way. I'm going to switch over right here, and you've seen now from this event that you've got a link inside of the web page here, and we have a whole bunch of viewers already on, so thank you very much for joining. And as we wait for more folks to get online, go ahead and click on number 1 under Google Plus if you would like to ask us questions during this event. So if you click on the Google Plus link, in addition to just visiting the or watching the live webinar from the stream here, under number 1 above, you can just click on Google Plus. And if you do that, it's going to open up a new window. And from that new window, you'll be able to click on Q&A and live. And when you click that, you're going to actually see a link or a new window pop up. And I'm going to have to press pause because it auto plays as soon as you come in. And there we are. And then you can ask a question down in the lower right by clicking on the green Ask a New Question button. So if you click that button, you can ask a question here. If you do that, I'll be checking the screen a few times during the event. We do have a whole bunch to get through and a short time to do it. I want to be cognizant of your time and get done with this webinar in about an hour. And so if you do have questions, that's how to do it. Again, from the webinar page that you received via email, instead of just clicking on this page, if you click on number 1 to go to the Google Plus page, that'll take you into this page after you click on the link to press play, and you'll be able to ask questions right here. So if you do have some questions or some things that you'd like to see, that's how to do it. And let's get back to our event and our content for today. Constant Contact is sponsoring this event in partnership with SCORE. And this is just one of the things that Constant Contact can help you with. Events and registrations is only the beginning, because you can also do offers and promotions, feedback and surveys, and of course the email newsletters and announcements that you've come to know and love Constant Contact for. Very inexpensive. I'll talk to you at the end of this event about what that all means. And in general, for my money, Constant Contact is one of the best deals in online marketing, period. So be sure to hang on for that, because we've got a special offer for you at the end. BizzyWeb, of course, is an online marketing company focusing on WordPress web design and online marketing in our Buzz Builders products and services. And Buzz Builders is where Constant Contact falls for us. We do email marketing, newsletters and templates, campaign autoresponders, social media marketing with Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+, and more, and advertising through Google Ads, Facebook ads, and or search engine optimization and content marketing. What you're here for, however, is to talk about events and registrations. So we're going to go through the types of events, why run an event promotion, online registration, and why bother to do online registrations, and post-event actions and follow-ups. Finally, we'll talk through some next steps and how you can make the rubber hit the road and get your business running with event marketing. So let's get into events. First, at its core, what you need to remember is that marketing is all about eliciting a physical and a measurable response. You're trying to get people to do something. At least for us online marketers that are in small businesses, you know, Coca-Cola can afford to do brand marketing where all they want you to do is know about Coca-Cola. But for us, we're trying to get people to do something every time we do our online marketing. Campaigns then are generally where we push content, and in return, we try to pull a response. In this case, we're trying to push invitations and pull registrations back for our events. If you replied and if you're attending this event today, you're actually seeing Constant Contact's event registration and marketing tool at work. This is how we use all of our marketing and how we run all of our BizzyWebinars and all of our SCORE webinars. And so that's as easy and as hard as it needs to be. All we needed to do was set up a campaign, set up a list of people that we wanted to connect with. In this case, the SCORE list of all of the typical folks that are connected with and asked to be contacted by SCORE about a newsletter or about events and registrations and about marketing. And so you received this message as part of that today. So the types of events really include a few things, and it could be a lot more than this, but for sure, whether it's seminars, lectures, workshops and classes, conferences, social networking, or even fundraisers and galas, marketing events is all about getting people together. It could be an online event, like something like today, could be a physical event, could be a fancy to-do, or it could just be getting together after work for a networking event. All of those things are easy to manage and maintain online. So why run a campaign? First, you need to know what your goal is. So with your goals on marketing and events, perhaps your goal would be to raise money or create engagement, reward loyalty, educate people, to grow your list, or certainly to celebrate milestones. The key thing is that if you're going through all of the pain and trouble of setting up an event, of asking people to come out and visit you, to do something online, or to connect in a real way with some folks at a specific date and time, you need to make sure that it's meeting the real goals of your organization. Goals are one thing where you're trying to do something physical for your company, and then objectives are one level down. And when you think about those goals and objectives, they need to be able to be measured. So if you're trying to increase revenue for your organization, you need to be able to measure, did the people that you connected with actually take some next step that led to new business for you? And as we talk about revenues, we should think about whether you want to charge for your events or not. So when you think about charging, a lot of folks like to run free events. And so in general, don't be afraid of this, because when people said whether or not they chose to attend an event, most folks, a little over half in fact, said that date and time was the big reason that they did not attend an event. Followed by 29% just said other. They weren't sure what, they just had something else going on or whatever. And then the location was 10% of the respondents that said that they didn't attend because of the location. Out of all of those, only 0.01% responded with cost being an issue for their event. So if you do the math backwards on this, if you have 200,000 RSVPs, and certainly if you're going to have an event with 200,000 people, give us a call because we can help. But 0.01% of a response on 200,000 RSVPs is only 20 people. So 20 people said no because you charged. And so don't be afraid to charge for your event. A lot of times we'll see that event attendance goes up when you charge for an event, because if you can get them over the hump to pay for your event, they're much more likely to attend that event than if you don't charge for it, because people don't like losing money or the perceived loss of value. And if there's no reason monetarily for them to attend, that's just one less reason for them to actually show up. And there's nothing worse than having 500 people signed up for your event or 50 people signed up for your event, and to have you purchase something for them or get a bigger room because you had such an amazing turnout, and then to not have 3/4 of those people turn up. So it's a great way to engage. And let's talk about engagement for a second. This is an all-encompassing kind of marketing overview. If you're building your company and you're trying to drive attention and ideas about how to get people to do more with your business, these are the steps you're going to take. You're going to provide a wow experience, entice them to stay in touch. They're going to engage. That's going to engage people. And then that engagement will drive social visibility, which in turn will drive new prospects. So you can think of this as a way to continue to feed that funnel and to keep giving people an opportunity to recommend you and help you grow your business. So promotion. That's one of the big things that we need to do when you're trying to get people to attend an event, of course. And so when you're talking about promotions, what we need to think about is that timing really does matter. So when you're looking at setting up your event, of course, you might want to send out a save the date as soon as you know about an event, especially if it's going to be a large event or require a upfront cash exposure. And certainly if folks are going to have to pay for flight times and tickets for airplanes, you're going to want to get as much advance notice out as possible. But really, when to start getting serious about a regular event that you're holding locally would be about 5 to 6 weeks out to start creating buzz. So get out that newsletter, get out that save the date, get out the first round of information about what's going to happen at your event. You may notice if you're subscribed to BizzyWeb's content and events that we publish a BizzyVents newsletter once a month where we talk about everything that's coming up in the next month. So that keeps people excited, it gets them interested, it lets them register right away, and it just starts generating that buzz. About 3 to 4 weeks out, you're going to want to do more activities to increase registration. So as you look at that, it's going to be reaching out, connecting up with folks, reminding them that they haven't responded. This is where having a tool like Constant Contact can be incredibly beneficial because you can just send notes out to people that either haven't responded or haven't even opened the email that you looked at. And so you can reach out to them, tell them, hey, wanted to make sure you didn't miss this. By your preferences or what we know about you, we thought that this would be a perfect event for you to attend. So please do connect with us. And then the couple weeks out to the actual event date, you're going to want to try to maximize attendance by playing with social media, reaching out, connecting out, perhaps via phone, and doing all of those things that would take to reach out and connect directly with those folks and get them to register, and then, of course, attend. So, for example, Fairy Dog parents sent out a note about 5 to 6 weeks out talking about their Yappier Hour. So they're getting out there, they're leveraging a newsletter. The Chesapeake Wine Festival sent out information and posted that on their website. They listed their event publicly, and you can put those out in event directories, Events in America, local papers or event calendars, and then co-marketing with other partners. 3 to 4 weeks out, you might want to try event registration forms on the homepage. So actually getting that together and asking actively for event registrations. Invitations via paper and email are also very handy, and this is perfect for 3 to 4 weeks out because it's in their hand and they're thinking about it and they're taking that next step. And then social media posts and sharing. There's a Facebook events app. You can publish via that, and you can connect all that out easily. And then 2 weeks out, some examples: sending email reminders, providing tickets or confirmation of the event so that people are sure to attend, a reminder on the event website or the homepage, and then, of course, updates and reminders on social media. So make sure that you reach out, that you continue to connect, that everything's working, and just use as many options as possible as you're trying to reach out. If you do something every couple of weeks, it's not going to feel like you're hitting people over the head. You don't want to wait until 2 or 3 days before the event and send out 12 emails because that is going to burn people out and it's just not going to work. When we talk about registration, there's a few ways that you can do registration. Some are online and some are offline registration. Remember that offline doesn't necessarily mean paper, and that some folks will just take and collect registrations via online spreadsheets, like an Excel sheet, or take registrations via phone, Outlook, and email, postal service replies, faxes, or other things. And the key thing is that all of these require a whole lot more input than online registration. With online registration, you can just click together and get information, meal requests, event fees, all the communications put together all in one spot. You can reach out and connect on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and email. You can collect all of the data and information for your event, whether it's the actual data of who's attending, what types of meals they want, or the cost, and start collecting money. All of that's available and quite simple when you're connecting online. The key thing is that you can do a bunch of things with web-based marketing and online-based registrations that you simply can't do any other way. One of the easiest wins that you'll get is to do RSVPs and declines automatically. You don't need to be available taking phone calls or opening up newsletters or opening up envelopes to see this content. Collecting payments is another really easy way. Nobody wants to sit there and process checks or collect cash or register or hand code in credit card receipts. And so you want to make sure that having an online tool is available for you so that you can save all of that extra effort. There is generally a little bit of a fee associated with some of this, but well worth your savings in time in order to avoid all of that. And certainly there's less liability and less issues. If you collect all of your stuff in a shoebox and that shoebox walks away, you're in serious trouble and you need to pay all of those things out. So having a tool that can handle all that for you is going to be a huge help. And of course, it's available 24/7 when you register online. People connect up, they request things. You don't have to be available right then or right there. And so when you do that, it makes your life a whole bunch easier. The events and registrations are all put together, and everything, if you have your online marketing put together correctly, it's just all in one place. So as you look at this, everything's there. You can direct people to the website. If they do send in something online or via paper mail or calling in, you can just enter their information in that central repository. And then anyone else on your team that wants to collect that information and register out is very easily kept in the loop, and other folks can take on that contract or that information all in one fell swoop. So it makes your life much easier. If you're going to sell items or track donations, you need to have online registrations because there's just no other easy way to track all of the work that you need to do in order to collect the premium items or sell things or collect different options on things that people are going to want to buy. In a word, it's just easier. So make sure that you're doing what you can to keep all of your online marketing online, and that your registration and events, you just can't run things off of the back of newspapers and envelopes anymore. You need to have a tool. And of course, Constant Contact can do that really well. The more content or the more online marketing is used as far as this, the better it is. So 50% of invitees who received paper invites wanted to register online anyway. So when you look at this and you're building this out, make sure that you keep it as straightforward as possible. And people just expect to be able to register online now. And so if you're not giving them that option, that makes your life a whole lot less simple, and it actually frustrates your users. People expect to be able to register online. They expect to be able to register on phones. They expect to be able to do what they need to do without needing to talk to people. Especially millennials expect to be able to do all this stuff via some sort of an electronic device. And if you make them go through a tool that they're not familiar with or uncomfortable with, they probably would be a lot less likely to actually take that next step. So let's talk through what the steps are inside of that invitation. If you think about what you need to do inside of this, one of the nice things about having a Constant Contact account or some other similar tool is that you start with templates that make it so that it's almost impossible to do these things wrong. They leave a space for your logo, and you want to include some simple graphics. It's really easy and listed via a template to build in your event details. And you can easily create a compelling message that includes details on why you should attend. So make this upfront and straightforward. Make it such that people really understand at a glance what you're doing and how you're doing it, so that you know how things need to connect, and so that everyone else is clear and they can register in. So one thing when you're thinking about this email, setting this all up in a template is one thing, but you need to pay attention to the subject line, because when you build your notes, really you only have a couple of moments as people look at your email on their mobile device, on their phone, and it needs to jump out. So your subject line absolutely matters. Make sure that you build it so that it's connected, so that it shares what they need to know today, so that it grabs their attention in the first 2 seconds, and that the first 2 words are action-oriented and drive people right towards that next step. I'm going to take a brief pause here, and we're going to look and see if you do have any questions, and then we'll keep moving. Looks like sound went out. Teresa, I hope everything's back in. I have other folks standing by, and they're telling me that the sound is going okay. So if you're seeing that there's not, that sound is not happening, it might be a problem with your online streaming or the YouTube channel just not catching up. Sometimes these things take a little bit of time to buffer. And so if you are still having issues, please send a note to 612 or give us a call at 612-424-9990, or just send a note to sales@bizzyweb.com. That's SALES at bizzyweb.com, and we have someone standing by to help. So let us know if there is a problem with sound, and I apologize if that's the case. Okay, so moving on then, as you think about the registration form itself, no kitchen sinks. Make sure that you don't include too much on that initial registration. So if you ask people to take too many steps, or if you have a registration form that's going to take a half hour to fill out, no one's going to have that time right then in order to fill it out. You're probably going to have 2 or 3% of the people that read it, they're just like, okay, cool, I'll fill it all out. But you need to make sure that you're making the bar as low as possible for people to register. And instead of asking for, in this case, 14 separate pieces of information, that you just include only what you need to know at this point, and then you can follow up with additional information in subsequent emails. So once you know that they're registered, that they've bought in, then you can take on the next step and ask people what they need and what their meal preferences are, or what the classes are that they'd like to attend. Another thing to think about is you need to make sure that they understand that it's you, and you've worked hard to develop your brand and to expose your personality for everything that you do. So making sure that you use your graphics, your name in your email address or in the from email, and your information as much as possible. That's going to keep things straight, streamlined, and straightforward for them, so that they understand that they're working with you. This isn't some third-party thing. If you have a common business name, or if this is part of something that they might not have heard of before, make sure that you give them the context to understand who they're connecting with and why they should work with you. Your registration page needs to be as simple as possible. Again, same as before, having your logo and some simple graphics, some simple event details, your event name, the brief description of the event, and then simple form fields as much as possible. Let me step back for a second and talk about those form fields and really what kind of data you need to collect. So if you're talking about what you should collect, thinking about, depending on the event, all of these might be valid, but you might be needing demographic information. How old are you? The sex of that person, depending on what type of event they're using, or you're connecting with them on. Are they going to bring guests? The time or the sessions that they're requesting, event-specific information, like if they're going through, or if they're going to order chicken or fish, payment methods, if there's special needs for menus, that sort of stuff. That all allows you to connect and collect information that works good for you. For demographics, planning and adjusting logistics, entertainments, or auctions. If you're bringing guests, planning and adjusting seating or monitoring the capacity is important. For timing and session requested, communicating about openings, adjusting staffing, or adding or removing options. And event-specific information includes like meal options, clothing sizes, and audience composition. So if you want to know that most of the people that are attending are executives versus brand new employees, that will help you tailor your messages and the content of your event appropriately. And then finally, of course, payment method allows you to plan and adjust for finances. So as we look at these things on the left, These are all of the things that we normally ask for as part of a normal event registration. And these are all the deals and examples of some of those things. So meals, giveaways, what school does your child attend, food allergies, emergency contact information, and then dialing in special needs. So here's an example of good and bad data. So as you think about what you want to have people respond on, one of the things that these templates allow you to do is either submit multiple choice or yes, no questions or open field questions. The thing is, with open-ended questions, there's a lot of data and a lot of variability in those messages. And so with bad data in, you're going to get bad data out. It makes it really hard to tabulate responses if people are filling in text at every state. So if you're asking a yes or no question, and if you leave it open for text, they might give you all kinds of different content, and that makes it really hard to measure and make business decisions. So the other thing that it does when you ask people to fill in text responses is it leads to form fatigue, where people will get exhausted or they'll think, I really don't have time to fill out all these silly questions. But it takes a lot less time just to do a B, C, D, E, or a yes, no, or a 1 to 5 response. And so it goes faster, it leads to less concerns and more registration opportunities, where people will be much more likely to take it all the way through the registration and to not drop that registration halfway through if you don't make it hard for them. So good data might look like, would you like to extend your stay for the Sunday special rate of $389? Yes or no? Would you like a complimentary ski pass? Or choose a Saturday afternoon activity or Saturday dinner preference. Very easy stuff. That good data leads to very easily tabulated data inside of the reporting tools. So you can just look and say, we've got 54 orders for chicken and 17 orders for fish. We have 19 people who would like to extend their Sunday stay, and 18 folks would like a Sunday ski pass. The other nice thing about that yes or no, if they say yes for the extended special rate of $389 and yes for the Sunday ski pass, you can charge them for that right there inside of that registration and not have to go back to them and call them and organize that separately. Make sure that when you put these together, that you make yourself the first test subject. Make sure that the message is easy to connect with, make sure that it's all easy to read, and then measure how much time it's going to take when you submit that form. The key thing is you probably want to add like 10 or 15% to the time of the registration when you take it, because you already know the questions because you wrote them. When you write that stuff down, and after you've noted the time and that everything seems to make sense, make sure you share that in your registration form and say, it should only take you ideally under 5 minutes to complete your registration. So once you get all that information from the registration, then what? Well, let people share who else is coming. Let people show additional contacts and show that they're coming to offer social proof or share and invite other people in. So when you look at that, it's as simple as selecting inside of the features, show registrants a list of who else is coming, and allowing registrants to join the contact list and to get information that they need. So this will actually help you grow your marketing as well, and then allow others to see that they've registered. And so if they choose to say, yes, you can see that Dave Meyer registered for this event, anybody that knows Dave and loves him might be more likely to attend. So as you look at that, that's another way to actually reach out and connect. So what that looks like on this, look who else is registered, and then it shows down the list. So if you're good buddies with Amanda Patterson, that's an easy way to see that this is something that you might want to attend. Social proof is another big deal when people are looking, and that's what we kind of just got done talking about. But really, if you see that someone that you know, or that a lot of people that you may respect, or that a lot of people, period, are attending an event, that makes you more likely to want to use that or to want to go to that event. So if you see that not only are there a lot of people registered, but that I know these people, that's a great way to connect out. Another way to extend that proof is to allow those people that have registered to share that they're attending, or to share that event and invite other people through their networks. Constant Contact in particular allows you to do this, where you can reach out very simply and share it on Facebook, or tweet that you're attending, or invite people via email. And so as you do this, that makes your life very easy. And this is some examples of how that works. Tomorrow, 5:30 p.m., 253 Summer Street, the Art of the Referral free. That just shows up on this person's page. The Mass Nursery, it'll automatically post that. And here's another brief Fin Manager video explaining some of the reasons you should come check out our Manager of the Launch event next month. Let me stop and just take a quick pause. Is this recorded, and will it be available? Yes, Teresa, we will be offering this up later, and the recording will be live as soon as we're done. And as a matter of fact, if you missed something, or if the audio was out for a brief period, you can scroll back right now in the live window and repeat what I've been talking about. And that's going to be available on the BizzyWeb YouTube channel. That's at youtube.com/c/BizzyWeb. And of course, we'll have an email going out to everyone that registered after this to talk about the replay and to give you options for if you have other questions or details. So thank you very much, Teresa, for asking that question. All right, so once you've got your event built and you've got the proof, the next thing you're going to want to do is think beyond the event and look through what's available. So whether it's demographics to grow your email list, if they're bringing guests to build new customer and supporter relationships, to improve future event planning and marketing efforts through the time session, the event-specific info, or the payment method, all of that is very essential. And if you're doing payments, which I highly recommend if you're going to collect monies for your event, make sure that you offer multiple payment options, because some folks are going to be more likely to use something than others. So you might have folks that are check writers or credit cards. Different credit card processors allow you to do this online very simply. You might do PayPal. You might want to collect cash or checks at the door. But some folks are going to want to use some of these things, and some of them will only look if one of their favorite options is available. So make sure that you offer as many options as comfortable, and in general, trend toward and emphasize the online stuff. PayPal and Authorize.net for online payments would be incredibly easy and makes your life a lot simpler. And so that you're doing all of that and keeping it, again, kind of on autopilot for yourself. All right, so what do you do during and after the event? Well, the most important thing that you need to do after your event, of course, is say thank you. People want to be connected with. You need to share some of the details and information of how the event went. If you collected comments, or if you have speaker notes that you want to share out so that people can use the learning that they were exposed to after the event, that's a super simple way to do it. Send a note after the event and first say thank you, but then give any of the relevant detail to keep them wanting to work with you and to give them that next step. One of the things that marketers tend to be poor at is asking people to take a physical next step. We think that just sharing information is enough. What we need to do is help cut through the clutter and make people think less, and instead just give them the next expected step. So thank you for attending our event. Please register for our next event here. Subscribe to our newsletter. Or if you loved this, why don't you buy our DVD of this event and keep the learning going, or share with your team. All of that is very easy and very simple when you're using an online tool. You're also going to want to look at the statistics and the data that you accomplished or that you collected during your event. So whether it's finding out who the no-shows are, what the revenue or funds were that were raised, or segmenting follow-up lists based on the registration questions or activities or the classes that they attended, for example, you can get all of that information very simply since you've used an online marketing tool. So take that next step and dig in and find out as much as you can about the event and about the people that you connected with, because if you know that stuff, you can actually use it to continue your marketing. You're also going to want to probably collect pictures and videos and perhaps share some of that information from your event. You can do that easily on social networks. One common sense kind of note, you may want to include on your registration form a checkbox that says, you know, I've agreed to the terms and conditions of this event, and inside of the terms and conditions of the event, note that their likeness may be able to be used on social networks. The key is, if you're going to use imagery, make sure that you're respectful with that imagery. If you have an after party at a bar, you may not want to share content about that, especially if people are really whooping it up. Make sure that all of your imagery is flattering, and you don't want to catch somebody with a big wad of food in their mouth, for example, or someone in a silly pose. So make sure that you share appropriately to the audience that you're trying to reach. And then you can look at your social media activity as well. So up to and during the event, you might see a big spike right at the event of social media activity. Perhaps a whole bunch of folks tweeted, and then after the satisfaction survey went out, you asked people to tweet their experiences. Maybe you get a second little bump, but make sure that you push all that forward. You can also get feedback with a survey after the event. So get people's satisfaction score. In general, the shorthand for satisfaction is the number of very satisfied, but plus the number of somewhat satisfied divided by the total responses. And then look for insights on that content, whether it's insights about the event venue, did they enjoy, or did they like the place that the event was held at? Was the time and the time of year good for them? How was the food? How was the entertainment? How were the speakers? Would you have any recommendations for content for next time? What was the best part about each of the speakers, or what did you learn? Having some open-ended questions, but again, not too many, would be a really helpful way to get more information about what is most important about your event. And whether it's interest, demographics, and of course, offering them the opportunity to sign up for your newsletter to get options to attend another event with you later, or to take that next step. That's very important, and that helps you continue to grow your marketing list. Since BizzyWeb started using Constant Contact for our email marketing and for our post-event registrations and signups, our total number of people on our contact list has more than quadrupled. We've gone to having a sizable partnership and a sizable group of folks that are interested in hearing about what's happening for us on a regular basis. So let's talk a couple of next steps. And before we go into next steps, I'll jump over for one more time on questions. If you do have questions, and if you haven't had a chance yet, as a reminder, if you're watching this event from the Google or from the BizzyWeb page, there's one more step that you need to take if you want to ask us questions on the event. Just click on this Google Plus page link right here under number 1. When you do that, you'll be able to go to this page, and as long as you're logged in on Google Plus, which all you really need is a Gmail account to do, you'll be able to click the green Ask a New Question button, and I would love to take any questions that you have about event marketing and registration. Next steps. I'm going to offer you a chance right now to take a few screenshots. And so if you're familiar with the functionality on your computer of taking screenshots on a PC, you'll want to grab your Alt and your print screen buttons. And then you do Alt print screen at the same time. You hold down those two buttons. You open up a Word document or some other image collection tool, and you paste that screenshot into that tool. And if you're on a Mac, you can just do Command-Shift-4, and then that turns your cursor into a crosshairs, and you can click and drag to grab a screenshot of what's coming here. So for your events and registrations invitations, here's some things that you might want to do. First, make sure that the host organization is obvious, not just the logo. Place your logo left or center and use the text link. That's for mobile devices. Be sure to include the date, time, location, and topic of your event. And then the sign up link should be the most obvious, if not the only option, and be above the scroll line. Let people find out what they're interested in, give them that next step, in this case, the registration link right there, and make sure that it's right obvious so that people get it. You don't need to give details that distract from the sign up, especially on the invitation and the registration invite. So make sure that you do that. This is where you'd want to take that screenshot if you want this for your events and registration checklist. So go ahead and do Command-Shift-4 on a Mac or Alt print screen and paste it into an event or paste it into a document if you'd like. If you would like these checklists by email, just send us a note and in response to the registration or the thank you email that you'll get right after this event is done. All right, so for reminder email, here's a quick checklist. First, reconfirm their registration. So thank you very much for registering. We have that you'd like fish, that you're attending X, Y, and Z class, and that you'd like an extra large t-shirt. Here's the details on that. Note if there is a wait list or if the event is full. This will help people to gauge or guide if they want to share. If they see that the event is almost full and that there's only a few spots left, they might be more likely to send that note to their boss or their friends that they want to attend the conference or seminar with them. And then describe the check-in process, where to park, what to bring, the emergency contact information. Here's the trick with the reminder email. It can be long. You can send and should send anything and everything that you can think of about the event because people are already engaged. They've already hopefully paid money for that event. And so they want to know. The long reminder email is your killer tool to make sure that you don't have to answer 1,000 questions between the time that message goes out and the event going live. So if you have information about parking and details and information about what you need to know the day of, what to bring, what to pack, all of that stuff, that's going to cut down on the confusion, on the frustration, and your frustration because people won't be calling you and bugging you about any of those things if you're clear and concise. Again, you want to make sure that it's readable, that there's lots of bullet points, lots of headings, and that it's easy to scan, but don't be shy about sharing the frequently asked questions, the directions, any information that they need to know. For the follow-up email, you want to focus on, of course, saying thank you, include at least one photo from the event, and then ask them to participate in your survey. You want to know how that event went, what they'd like to do more, what they'd see differently for next time, did they like the venue, all of those things that we've already discussed. Ask attendees to post, tweet, and comment about their experience. So provide links to your social media channels and provide them with sample content or write out some tweets for them. So you can do this in advance actually as well. That's one of the killer tips for effective marketing. Give them the opportunity and do some of that work for them, and they're much more likely to do it. So if you give them sample tweet content or sample social media post content, they'll be much more likely to do that. And of course, with Constant Contact, you can make it a one-click operation where they can just click to share their experience and it'll go right to that person's Twitter account or Facebook or whatever. Again, re-emphasize the call to action of your event, whether you wanted them to donate, to visit your store, to volunteer to help, to sign up for the newsletter, to stop in and see you, to take some next step. That's going to be very important for you. And again, remember that online versus offline. With online, you can easily process RSVPs and collect fees. Registration is available 24/7, and it's easy to collect all of that information in one place. It's just easier. Make sure that you're only collecting the information that you need. So keep it simple. Only collect that final and very first information, especially on the first contact. You can send out separate emails for more detail or more information about classes or whatever if you need to. Good data in and good data out. Again, it's okay to have a few fill in the blank questions where you ask people things, but make sure that that's not where the urgent data lies. You want to know in drop-down menus what classes they're attending. Via multiple choice questions, what their best option is going to be via yeses or nos or checkboxes, what they want to see. If you just let them fill content in, it's going to be very hard to parse that data into anything usable. And then promote social proof. Let people share your events, your content, and your ideas, whether it's just to share that they are going to attend and have that show up on the registration page and help boost registrations once people are already there, or even better, to share to their friends and their networks that they're going to attend and they'd love other people to attend as well. Once you get all of this data in, make sure that you use that data to inform business decisions. You're going to want to take that survey. You're going to want to use the time, the registration, the content. If you had one part of your event that nobody seemed to want to attend, then use that data and tweak that model for next time. And then make it as easy as possible for people by looking like yourself, look like your organization, so that they understand that this is you and that they're working with a business that they can trust or that they've already had some contact with. That makes it much more likely for people to attend that next event. And then the payment options matter. Provide more than just one. Might be cash and credit card, might be checks, PayPal, all of the above. Make it simple. And then timing matters. Give enough time to plan ahead. So I'm going to give you one more chance for quick questions. Looks like we're good there. I will stop one more time at the end. But for now, just want to start wrapping up here and offer up a special deal. Right now, with Constant Contact, if you start an account with BizzyWeb in order to help you manage your events and your emails and your social media marketing and your surveys, if you do that, the prices I'll get to in just a moment, but if you sign up by July 3rd, you'll get a free template design. This is a $200 value that will take your website, the look and feel of your site, and will turn it into an email template that you can use for anything, whether it's events and marketing, whether it's surveys, or just a series of teaser campaigns or autoresponders. When people sign up for your newsletter or subscribe to something, that they'll get a series of marketing tools that'll be sent out to them. If you go to BizzyWeb.com/cc between now and July 3rd and sign up with Constant Contact, you'll get that email template for free. This is actually done by Constant Contact because we are authorized local experts at BizzyWeb. We're actually master certified. We're among the top 1% of Constant Contact vendors in the world. And so this is something that we can offer you because of that elevated status within Constant Contact. As far as what it all costs, well, it ain't much. $45 a month and up to 500 contacts to get everything possible that you need. That includes the campaigns, the full toolkit, the events and registrations, the surveys, and even online marketing via Facebook and other social channels. This is one of the best deals in marketing, period. If all you need is emails and you don't want to send anything other than emails, you can get it for as little as $20 a month. And if you'd like the full coach experience, to have someone from Constant Contact actively walk you through all of this, $195 a month gets you a person on a hotline that's personalized to you. Here's a little bit of detail about what y'all get. The toolkit, the recommended one is the Essential, and that's the $45 a month one. And that gets you campaign design for us, autoresponders, which again, if someone subscribes to your newsletter or signs up with you or takes some step through your website form, you can send them 2, 3, 4 emails automatically without you needing to do an extra step at all to engage them further and to get them further down that sales and marketing funnel. So I hope you take that next step with us. In summary, remember that BizzyWeb does all of these things for you, including and especially web design. We build websites that seamlessly integrate with social media. So if you want a website that can, with a single click, post not only to your website, but to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, and more, and integrate with your online marketing and your email campaigns, please give us a call. If you have a WordPress-powered website and you don't already host with us, give us a call there, because we can help activate that social media auto posting, give you instant and automatic backups of your content to keep your website safe and secure. And we will update your software and give you 3 hours of personalized service and support from real live human beings based right here in the Midwest, where we can help you with anything that you need. We're a real company with real people with a real server that can help you. A lot of those bigger companies offer some level of hosting, but you really do get what you pay for. And in our case, it starts very inexpensively at $25 a month. Online marketing services are also one of the things that we do best. So whether you need a lead generation strategy for your business, a way to promote your products and services, a way to deepen existing relationships with your customers, or just a way to optimize your marketing, BizzyWeb can do all of those things through our Buzz Builders programming. We'll do email marketing, social media outreach, content delivery, and social media campaigns. So all of that stuff is available and simple for you at any time. Please remember to join us every single Wednesday because we have BizzyWebinars every week live on the web. Yesterday we talked about cyberbullying, and so if you have children or know of folks that do, especially if they're in the teenage kind of realm, be sure that you check out that replay by going to BizzyWeb.com/events, because we had a representative from the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension in the state of Minnesota here talking about what parents need to know to help their kids in both online privacy and to protect them from cyberbullying. And then we also have 10 things every website should have. And then next month, we have a bunch of other campaigns and projects and products that we're talking about. Today, we do have one more event. So if you haven't quite heard enough from BizzyWeb and from us, we have how to project a powerful image to your clients and customers. And that's live at the DoubleTree in Bloomington. And so would love to see you there. Please click on that at BizzyWeb.com/events for the details and a map. This is with New Business Minnesota. And so if you saw me on the cover of New Business Minnesota last month, this is the event to support that. And we're going to talk in detail about how you can present a powerful image that'll help you grow your business. And then finally, if you would like more detail about how to grow your business online, go to BizzyWeb.com/buzz and fill out a free Buzz Report request. What you do with that top section is you can enter in your website address, a competitor's website address, and a keyword that you would like to rank well for. And our free tool will give you a 17-page report on what you're doing well, what you could be doing better, and what your competition is doing that you could either capitalize on or do better than. So take a look at that. It's a free service. If you'd like a full online marketing audit and plan, we charge $200 for that, and you can request that from that page as well. But at the top of the page, simple, free, easy survey sign up that I hope everyone here will take advantage of because it's simple, it's easy, and it's incredibly powerful. Again, I am Dave Meyer with BizzyWeb. Thank you all very much for joining us. If you do have some questions and would like to follow up with those, send us an email in response to the email that you're about to get from us, because we're going to send you a thank you email. And we'd love to talk to you again next time. Remember, there's a SCORE webinar every single month. So hope to see you either in person at one of our many SCORE in-person seminars or online at our next webinar. And remember, at BizzyWeb, we help you generate buzz without getting stung. Here's how to get a hold of us. Talk to you very soon, and have a fantastic week.